All right. So here we are. Good evening and good night, and welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Thursday, October 27th, 2016. My name is David, aka Kimba, aka Christian. Soup's on special assignment tonight. This is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do have a telephone number, 340-201-9005. You can also text us on that number as well. We have email, streaming live from the VI at yahoo.com as well. We're in a high-tech, low-tech studio. Our guest tonight has definitely heard that before. Coming to you from an undisclosed location here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. No radio or TV, internet only. So you got to get your iOS phone, your Android, Mac, Windows, PC. Open up your, no more open up your browser, but go to my profile page and give me a like and then share it from there. Also, you can go to another page that I manage, which is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show Facebook page. Go there, click, and share. Let's get the word out as well. All our recorded live shows are on Ustream and YouTube.com. Just search for our channel, It's Your Perspective Talk Show. What else we got? We got 2 Facebook pages. Want to give a quick shout out to CHS Class of 1982. We're on Twitter. Tweet with us at VI Perspective. And moving straight forward and up, the show's mission is just to inform, entertain, and empower everyone. And I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Magdalene's Party Decor, Supersonic Computer Services, and Joanna's At a Touch Boutique and Sunny Isle Shopping Center here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. And we are also simulcasting our show tonight via our online radio station, streaming live from the VI.com radio. You can listen to it if you can't watch via the TuneIn app. Get the TuneIn app, just search for streaming live from the VI.com radio, and you'll be able to hear the show tonight. So we do have a special returning guest in the studio tonight. There she is right there. We have Sommer Sibilly-Brown. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
Happy to be back?
Yes.
And we know when you come here, you have some good things to share with our listeners, our viewers. So before we get into that, so how you been doing?
I have been doing wonderful. Busy, tired, excited, but wonderful.
Okay, so we won't keep you too long tonight. But you're here tonight because this time of the year is always the DINE VI extravaganza.
Yes.
A whole, I guess, week, 10 days, 2 weeks of food preparation, restaurants, and good stuff for your taste buds. But we want to talk about a specific event, which is called Food Learn.
Food Learn, yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so Food Learn is the youth component, basically, of DINE VI. And what we do is we take high school students from 9th to 12th grade, and we invite them out for a day of food and farm or cultural education. This year, our location was the Estate One Museum on St. Croix anyway, so that activity happened today on St. Croix. And we looked at our culture and we talk about questions, food system questions. What role does food play in our economic development? What role does food play in your everyday life? So they go through farm tours. Today it was the museum exhibits in St. Croix. And then we have this really wonderful, today was a 4-course lunch.
Okay.
By Chef Michael Matthew and Ridge to Reef. Shout out to Ridge to Reef. And they're served, it's plated, they're served, we sit down and there's table topics where we really just are getting to know our young people and really conversating about where we want food to go for the territory.
Okay. So I'd imagine young people love to eat.
Yeah.
And so what type of plates, dishes did you have?
The menu today started off with radish greens with pickled radish. That was course 1, light salad. Then they had pumpkin, coconut, and ginger soup.
Okay. Yummy.
And then they had pork with like a papaya slaw. And the vegetarian option was that same slaw with like lentils.
Okay.
And the final dish was a guava berry cream cheese cake.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was to die for.
Okay.
I mean, there were some places like when the kids got the radish greens, there was like, oh, what's this? But as we progressed, what I saw is people willing to try things that they had never eaten. People having conversations about food, the health benefits and why it's important. And by the end of the meal, I could feel the impact. They on that main course, they went in. I mean, plates were clean. I was like, okay.
So what was different between this year and last year? And last year was the first year you did this, right?
Yeah, last year. So last year we hosted the first Food Learn event, and it was at the Little Lagrange, the Cayenne Marie Lawette's Museum.
Yes.
We served about, let's say, 100 community stakeholders, and we had junior high and high school. We didn't necessarily have table topics, but the community stakeholders in the audience did. We did facilitate some of that conversation.
Okay.
This year we focused in, we narrowed in on that 9th to 12th grade, so we had a more targeted audience. We had actual table topics, which from the time you sat down, you could begin to think on what is food security? What does that mean? What is the purpose of DINE VI? Like really pointed questions that were at every seating
Okay.
to help people really maximize their 2 hours together.
Okay. Okay.
It was wonderful.
Okay. So you said 9th to 12th graders. So
Yes.
was it one school specifically here, or you got from?
Invitations go out to all schools,
Okay.
all high schools, but because today was a half day, it kind of posed a little bit of a problem, but we got students from Complex, both the vocational side and the educational side,
Okay.
and we had students from Central who were there. We also featured the C-Tech culinary students, so shout out to Chef Duz and the students who he lent us to be part of this educational activity. So it's like students serving students, you know,
Okay.
they serve their peers. The other thing that was different is this year we actually offered awards. We gave out a youth advocate award to eight children
Okay.
who had an impact in the farm to school, farm to table, having youth working in agriculture. And so they were honored and they received awards today. And then we gave out a farm award. We gave out an award to Ridge to Reef Farms
Okay.
for their active participation in trying to help develop farm to school and, you know, just being proactive, their long-standing CSA, their slow down dinners, and, you know, that agricultural presence in the community.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about Ridge to Reef and who they are and what their, you know, a little bit more about what their role is and all of this.
Ridge to Reef, so Ridge to Reef is a farm. They're in the rainforest. They have two sites. They have the site like way deep in the rainforest, which is like the main farm, and then they have the Little Lagrange food hub. They have, I believe this is like their 8th or 9th season of a CSA, community supported agriculture. They have a farm stand that's down at the Little Lagrange food hub. They also deliver in town by the Christiansted Shan Market.
Yes.
They do that on Saturdays. Our relationship started about five years ago with the inception of my organization, when these same students who received awards today, they wanted to see, they did a presentation at the ag fair where the judges were like, you know, if you could really make this happen, and the kids wanted to see it happen. And so at the time when I started reaching out to the community and reaching out to farmers, Ridge to Reef farm, Nate and Shelly, they were like, listen, okay, we're in, we're gonna work with you to kind of move this effort forward.
Okay.
So while the kids were like in the classroom developing and researching farm to school, we had lots and lots of conversations trying to figure out what would that even look like in the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
And so, you know, we really have worked very closely together. They've also been a supporter of this event. They've partnered with me the first year providing the Little Lagrange Food Hub as a site.
Okay.
And this year they organized all the food, everything on the plate. It was 99.9% local. The only thing that was not sourced and grown here was the truffle oil.
Okay. We don't make truffle oil here in St. Croix, right?
Exactly, but everything else came right here from the Virgin Islands.
Okay. And from their farm specifically?
Yeah, their farm specifically, but they also work with other farmers. So I don't know if if they outsource product from different farmers.
Okay.
But I know that it was 100% local.
Local. Okay. Okay. Big ups to them. And so this Food Learn today was it's a 3-island event, 3-day
Yes.
event, and today was the St. Croix one, and you have one in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and also in St. John.
Yes, as you see me breathing. The one in St. Thomas is on Monday, October 31st. And any St. Thomians out there, if you're listening, please come out. We have reached out to several of the schools. We've reached out to Antilles. We reached out to the Ag Director for the Department of Education, Mr. Kirk Lewis. So he's supposed to be coordinating with the public school students who will attend. In St. Thomas District, I might have some elementary students, and so we're looking forward to seeing how they receive the event. Because it's our first time in St. Thomas, their event is actually from 12 to 2, and it is lunch.
Okay.
It's going to happen on the Reichel Center for the Arts grounds, like where they have their ag fair. So it's outdoors under a tent. It will still be all local food. We're trying to source some of the food from St. Thomas, but we will be, exporting items from St. Croix over to St. Thomas. But so it'll be 100% Virgin Islands local.
Okay.
And it's that same concept. They're going to look at what items we have available, and then Chef Michael Matthew, he's going to then create that menu that is offered, because availability is a large part of seasonality, and availability is a large part of agriculture.
Okay. So you mentioned Chef Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
He is the chef for all 3 events.
No, he's the chef for 2. He's the chef for this. He was today's chef, and he will be Monday's chef. But the chef for our November 10th event, which is being hosted at Gift Hill School in St. John, and big ups to Gift Hill because they're doing like amazing things with like K-12 ag education.
Okay.
I mean, amazing. And they has so graciously agreed to host us. And we'll be Chef Digby Stridiron. Yay!
Yeah, big ups to Digby. So the event in St. Thomas, is that still for 9th to 12th graders, or is that more open to the public?
So all the events have a public component.
Okay.
So there is 100 seats at the event. I try to fill 60% of the seats with youth in school.
Okay.
The other 40% of those seats are for community stakeholders. And the tickets that they buy, which are $45, actually support the youth seats. So this event is of no charge to high school students or any of the students who participate,
Okay,
or their chaperones. We want to encourage maximum participation. And so when when a community stakeholder buys a ticket, or when a business sponsors a table, they're actually paying for those kids to have that experience.
Okay. Okay, and then the one on St. John, you said, is at the
Gift Hill.
Gift Hill School?
Yes, Gift Hill School.
And that's Chef Digby. He's doing his thing there. And I guess, do you know anything about the menus for St. Thomas and St. John, or is it kind of the same, or maybe a little different?
So like I said, it's going to be based on availability because we want freshest quality. So I'm always usually surprised on the day of what they're serving.
Okay.
Hopefully, if it's up to me, it will be, similar things. Like, I hope we get some more pumpkin so we could go back in with that pumpkin ginger coconut soup. I think that was a great experience. Hopefully we have enough radishes, and I can pretty confidently say the meat of choice will be pork.
Okay.
But we always have a vegetarian option. And at first we were like a little scared, like pork and kids, so many people are vegetarians. But I was like, no, let's serve pork, because that's one of the challenges that we have to face as a people. What is locally available that we produce consistently at, in any quantity,
yes,
at any time?
Okay.
So that was, surprisingly, most of the kids were good with pork. I thought I would get more pushback, and we'd serve a lot more vegetarian meals.
Okay.
But no, a lot of people still eat pork.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So when you say pork, what do you mean specifically?
So this was like a well-seasoned stewed pork. So it was like chopped up in really nice chunks of meat.
Okay.
And it was like that. I mean, so this is like mango-fed, grass-raised, free roaming pork.
Okay.
And that, listen, when I tell you plates were clean, I know people who don't eat meat, but when they heard what the animal was fed and how it was cared for, and the free roaming, free grazing, they were like, okay, I'm gonna just steal a taste. I was like, you don't eat meat. No, I'm gonna just steal a taste just to see. But it was really delicious.
Okay. Okay. And then you say here it's a unique opportunity for youth and educators and community stakeholders to be exposed to the concept of food policy, food aggregation, and the system challenges
Yes.
and solutions that are key to getting local food on the plate of the Virgin Islanders?
So if you keep up with agriculture for a really long time, we talk about 98% import. But there's some other issues that we have to look at. Food security, food access, the food security, the right of every household to have the opportunity or access to fresh food. Food sovereignty, the right for us to source that food locally to the maximum extent. And then we're looking at sustainability. And when I think sustainability, I think the right of my great, great, great grandchildren, should I be blessed with them, to have access to the first two, to have access to fresh food, and to have the right to buy it from themselves. You know, a lot of people in our community, there's so many other things that we're concerned about that we don't see food as a justice or an equity issue, but it really, really is. I mean, I know, and I'm gonna go throw some jabs because people probably see me and be like, oh, well, you know, she's fat. You know what when they hear good food, what's she doing talking about food and health? You know, you don't see her. I'm the my weight, my life is like one of the driving forces where if you don't have access to fresh food, you begin to develop palettes around bad eating habits, which contribute to a lifetime of obesity related diseases, which are plaguing our people in our community. So food is an important conversation. And like, you know, we say agriculture, but I honestly feel as a community, most of us don't have a handle on how important the access to healthy food is, and how that is right up there with like voting rights.
Yes.
That's right up there with women's rights. It's equity. We need, so yeah, sorry, just went in.
Yeah. It's quite all right, quite all right. So, I mean, one of the things that I've noticed since I've come back to St. Croix since 2008 is that the access to locally grown food seems to be becoming more and more prevalent now. It seems like there's more farmers. There's more of a push publicly to say, hey, we have local farmers growing local food, and these are the places that you can go get it. There seems to be more of that now, in my opinion.
I mean, the time is right. It's ripe. It's now. It's coming. Like, I feel really excited about the energy, like you're saying, because there is a larger awareness to local food. More people are talking about it. More people are responsive to it. You know, administration, policymakers, different individual organizations, they're all beginning to speak the same language, and which is, you know, buy local, eat local, appreciate local, support our local economy. We're talking about the multiplier effect, which is, you know, making that $1, $5 through every local business you spend your dollar with, it passes through 5 hands before it leaves. So getting that money circulating. And so, yes, I agree with you. At this time, there is a growth in that movement. And so my organization, Virgin Islands Good Food Coalition, we want to bolster that by raising awareness and giving people education and information and to support now the ripeness per se of this opportunity.
Yes.
So we really build it, and we're building an infrastructure that supports us through, you know, the centennials coming up, or it's here,
Yes.
the next 100 years, because everybody eats. Like today I asked the question, who eats? All hands go up. Food is, and I will quote Neville James on this because he said this at Balter in the meet and greet, it's an inflexible commodity. It's something we all need. We can't afford to pass it.
Yeah.
And it's not just food, but quality food.
Yes, yes. And it seems to be getting better. You hear more and more.
It is exciting.
Yeah, more and more, I guess, farmers are coming about, and they're just producing more. You see more farm stands on the road now, and then they have, over there in Lorraine, they have the farmers market on Saturday and Wednesday now.
Listen, I want to shout out to the farmers market on Wednesdays. It is crunk now. It's live. There's music. There's people. There's movement. You know, like I was there not this Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays ago, and I was like, woo, yes. And so like the Department of Agriculture, also you see the work that they're putting in to support farmers. Farmers are the most amazing people. and this time is their time, and they support us by giving us the healthy product that we need. And we're going to continue, hopefully, and increase in the way we support them by spending that local dollar with them first.
Yes, yes. Is your organization doing anything with the schools here? I mean, outside of this, I mean, just just in general, any maybe classroom classes or presentation kind of stuff?
We are gearing up. We are gearing up. My organization is all volunteers. I want to shout out to Emanuela Perez and Nicole Pacheco and my mom, Valerie Sibley. We are all volunteers. Stephanie Shalana Brown. It's like four of us, and we crunch in and we make everything happen. So what we've been working on is really telling our story, and not our story like the organization story, but the Virgin Islands story, building that conversation and helping people understand why food is so important, so we can begin to garner support, so we can have the resources to do just that. Because the next step is we want to take Food Learn to kindergartners and catch them when they're babies and do some fresh fruit and vegetable identification, and have them taste it and do some math with it. And we want to help support farm tours. So there's a lot of work to be done. So we're in the process of gathering resources to make that a reality.
I got you. I got you. Okay, good. So this is Food Learn. This is a function within the whole DINE VI experience, and the Food Learn is put on by the Virgin Islands Good Food Coalition. You got that correct?
Yes, you did.
And today's event already took place, but which was here on St. Croix. It sounds like it was a success.
Yeah.
Plates were cleaned,
And
everybody just wiped their mouth and threw their napkin down and said, we can't wait till next year, right? And then St. Thomas's Monday, October 31st. And this is at the Reichhold Center for the Performing Arts. Same sort of setup for...
Same sort of setup. It's going to be under the tent. You're going to have servers. You're going to be served. We want to give our students that fine dining experience as well. Part of what Food Learn does is we want to give exposure. So exposure to information, but exposure to fine dining, exposure to conversations with community stakeholders. Like, all of this is part of networking. All of this is part of building. All of this is part of hospitality. Today we had students whose focus was business and hospitality, and we thought that was great. That's why we used the students from schools, Chef Du's class, because they have that training. So it's putting that training to service, but really giving them the experience, just that work in practice. It's all about building our young people. I mean, today my message to them, and if any of you are listening, is that there is power in their voice. Food Learn was not developed solely by me, nor was my organization. It was the impact of the students that I worked with that did a presentation that moved me to act. And so the beautiful thing about today was I had the ability to tell everybody, it might not be food for you, but there's something in this life or in this community that you have such a passion or a handle for. By sharing your voice could make an impact in somebody else and an impact in your community. So what my class did then was they moved me to move on their vision, which ended up being a blessing to me. And now, 5 years later, there's a whole event tailored towards sharing cross-generation, intergenerational conversation with young people, giving them information that we know, but receiving their perspective and information that they have. Like, it's this link, and it's so exciting because I would like to say that I was the genius who came up with it and I'm this brilliant person, but no, it was our youth. It was our children who gave this gift to us, and I just get to be the steward of it.
Yes, I got you. Is any one student after this event is so inspired that maybe it came to you and said, I wanna learn how to be a chef? Anything like that? Sort of, in this event. Someone's just totally touched by food preparation and all this kind of stuff, and says, hey, what can I do to get on that track?
No, I can't say I've had that experience, but what I have had is the aha moment, the look. When you see wait, a light bulb turns on. I get something. And then on Facebook, one of the students, his quote was, I want to look it up, but it's something like, success doesn't come to you, you go to it.
Okay, I got you.
And for him to have that takeaway today, like when you're working towards something, it's not given to you. You have to earn it. Whatever it is, that alone, that type of statement is so impacting that you left today. You shared a post because he was one of the students who received an award. But to know that his impact from when he was in 5th grade,
Yeah.
let him knowing that success is something you work towards and you can achieve it. And in a small way, he has helped do that, and he shared that on Facebook. I was like, tear, which I was crying today when I gave out awards because it was so emotional, because we have a lot of challenges in our community, and there's lots of times where we talk about the things that our kids, our children aren't doing. But there are children who are doing. And there are ways that we can recapture the children who are doing the things that we don't want. We just have to take time to listen. And Food Learn, it's not just about us telling them something. It's about us hearing their voice. And it's not a lecture. It's a conversation. You know, we're sitting at that table. They have intimate settings where they have the opportunity to contribute or just listen. And they are as much in control of that conversation as the adult or the student sitting across from them, because we're sharing in something. So it's good people, it's good food, it's good conversation, and hopefully something really good comes from it.
I got you. Sounds good, man. Our guest tonight is Sommer Sibilly-Brown. She is talking about Food Learn, something put on by the Virgin Islands Good Food Coalition. And I'll just kind of run through real quick the events coming up, the next 2 events. Real quick, Sommer.
The next 2 events are in St. Thomas on October 31st, 12 to 2 at the Reichel Center for the Performing Arts, and November 10th at Gift Hill School on St. John, same time period, 12 to 2. Children, all students registering are free. Their chaperones are free, but community stakeholders, you pay $45, and that ticket helps support youth participation.
Okay, there it is right there. So come on out. I guess you can get your tickets here. It does say from everbright.com, second annual Food Learn, second annual food learn tickets. Just go there and you can purchase your tickets online and enjoy a good event. So this is the second annual one, right?
Yes, and hopefully next year the 3rd annual will be, happening
even
same
bigger,
time. Yes, even bigger
and better.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to share about this, or anything just in general, maybe?
I just want to share as we close. I want to say thank you to the people who made today possible. Seaside Market and Deli for your contribution, Rotary, the Department of Tourism, and St. Croix Landmark Society, and all our volunteers. Thank you so much for what you do and caring enough to give back to our kids.
Yeah. You want to share a number or a website for your own personal organization?
Yeah, I would love to. Phone number is 340-277-3745. Again, 340-277-3745. If you're interested in coming in St. Thomas or St. John, we would love to have you.
Okay. Our guest tonight is Sommer Sibilly-Brown. She is with Food Learn, which is a project of hers. Her organization is the Virgin Islands Good Food Coalition. Want to thank you for coming through tonight and sharing your insight and your event with us. I'll be sure to get this up on our YouTube channel. Thank you once again. I just want to say that this is the It's Your Perspective talk show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. We're on Facebook Live now, so stay tuned. No more shows this week, but we have some shows lined up for next week. Check us out there. So have a good night, have a good weekend, and be safe, and be sure to attend whatever DINE VI happenings this weekend. And if you can get over to St. Thomas or St. John, please do so. On that note, we're out. Have a good weekend. Peace.